Now, to open up the possibilities of what's there, if you choose, use your free will to choose to believe we do have free will, what does that mean? How can our lives change? If you understand how DNA works, and you can see that DNA passes on the types of diseases and illnesses that we get, you are more susceptible to experience the same health problems as your parents, both through your genetics and through observations of the types of habits and the choices they make and the belief systems they have. How they raise you will develop your same behavior patterns as your parents. So you've got two things going against you to make you repeat the same patterns as your parents. And it both is DNA, your genetics, and observed behaviors. Both of those things play a strong role in creating the possibilities of living the same type of life. Maybe a different landscape, different color, but it's the same pattern over and over and over again. And science is saying you can't change DNA. But every day we make new discoveries. It's like at no point in time have we always been 100% correct in anything that we've done. We've had brilliant minds on the planet that make up these laws that as soon as science recognizes this is the law, this is the way everything works, basically what we do as humans is try to disprove those laws. How can that be if this is also true? So we always have this engine going on that's constantly disproving science. And right now, there are a lot of sciences that are stating, yes, everything is causal. And if we begin to be aware of what causes things, then we can prevent those same patterns from repeating. I'll give you an example. The Cancer Society spends a great deal of money trying to find the cure for cancer. They're more motivated to rid the planet of cancer, and yet they've made an observation that more than 50% of all cancers can be prevented. Yet very little money is being spent. I don't see, this massive campaign out there with all of the money that they raise to prevent 50% of those cancers. Instead, they choose to go the direction of where they personally profit. Because if 50% of the people didn't get cancer, then there's 50% that are healed through the prevention of. So 50% of those people that are getting cancer right now don't have to get cancer if the Cancer Society actually advertised what causes cancer. But we have these business rules that say you have to have scientific proof before you say there's a cure. And then our definition of cure will never be able to fit within that frame to allow us to even see it. We've set up so many rules to never see what it is we want to see. And yet it doesn't mean it's not there. You're constantly choosing which direction you want. And yes, everything is causal, but right now the whole friggin' planet is getting friggin' destroyed because we choose to believe we don't have free will. We have an economic system that's the driving force behind how we all live. And while other people other rules that are going on. Our government systems, our justice systems, our medical systems, all systems are designed to make you only have these few choices. And as long as you think you only have those few choices, then that's the cause of why we're doing everything that we're doing. But as soon as you jump out of the you know, that mentality and say, you know what, I do have free will. I do have other options than the ones that are given to me. We can change our laws within our justice system. We can change everything that's wrong into everything that's right. But in order to jump into that, you got to kind of say, hey, I have the free will to do that. But if you think that no, you don't, because the universe is demanding that you only do it this way, then you'll never ever see a different path. So I'm really kind of pushing the idea that as long as you believe there is no free will, you will never get what you want. You'll be guided by what everybody else wants you to do. But if you open up your mind to, yes, I have free will, I have other options, I may not know them, but even not being aware of them doesn't mean that I can't be aware of them. There are ways of accessing more information and more truthful information, but everything is going to be based on what you believe to be true. So if you can open your mind to believe to be true that you do have options, and then you start asking the questions, okay, what are my options? Then you access an information field, and that information, the universe is always giving you answers, but it's only going to give you answers to the questions you want to ask. If you want to ask the universe, in how many ways do I not have free will, you're going to get every freaking answer you want to justify what you want to see. But if you change your belief systems to say, okay, I do have free will, in how many ways can I prove that I do have free will? Then the universe will respond and give you all of that information to back up exactly what you want to perceive, to believe to be true. So at all times, you're making choices. What do you want to be, right or wrong? It's your free will to be right or wrong. You will always find the sciences that will back up everything you believe to be true, because at the end of the day, all aspect of reality is going to be found in your belief systems. Science will never prove there's a cure to cancer, because the only cure to cancer is the fact that you have to prove scientifically that what you believe is what's controlling reality. You can't scientifically prove beliefs are what's tying all of reality together. Because how can you scientifically say this person's really believing that? Because you can say one thing, but actually believe another, which will screw up any scientific experiment being done. And you're referring to another experiment where particles and waves are going through this thing. I forget the name of the experiment, but you referred to it in this Brainz video. And if you look at the scientists, I forget his name too right off the top of my head, but if you look at the scientists who are creating those experiments, he even uses it in his statement. If you believe as I believe, this is what I think is happening. And it's like, yes, it's all in what you believe. Belief is holding everything together. How you perceive these particles in waves, what you believe to be true as you observe them, is what's going to control them. Everything looks like it's just chaos, but it's not. It's only because you don't know what it is that's really going on. But as soon as you know what's really going on, then there's no chaos. You can see the patterns, and you can see exactly how much control you do have. So it's all based on what you choose to believe. The universe will back you up. The particles, the waves, everything will back you up depending on what you want to believe to be true. I say that you can get a lot more by believing you do have free will. I think the planet needs to start waking up to the idea that we have free will. But there's probably more people on the planet that believe we don't have free will. And so they're all going to be little zombies. Everybody's not going to be making any good choices. Nobody's going to be experiencing every wish, want, and desire that they want as long as they believe we don't have free will. So, and you have the free will to choose whatever it is you want to do. So I'm not going to convince you of anything. Just ask the question, why would you want to believe you don't have options when it's so limited to your own experience?